Hello, I am back with a May Life update. It's been 3 weeks since I released my new song, You're Welcome, and the last time we met up in my vlog, I was working away to get everything lined up for my song to go live. I can't lie, I get overwhelmed on a daily basis with the workload that comes from being a singer-songwriter, and I know I've talked about this before, but it truly does feel like a 24/7 job that doesn't really amount to much payoff, or pay for that matter. Releasing a song always leaves me feeling a little bit blue. I can't really explain it, but I can spend up to 2 years writing and recording and playing shows, and every ounce of money that I make with my music goes right back into paying for new music to be released. And I always end up feeling like I have something so special and I can't wait to release it. But once I put it out in the world, I just end up thinking, is that it? It feels like it's over so quickly. And with You're Welcome, I had high hopes that it would be placed on a Spotify editorial playlist like my song Honey You're the Reason was, and that gained over 30,000 streams. But that didn't happen this time. There's no rhyme or reason to being selected for a Spotify editorial playlist, and most of the times it feels like playing the lottery. So I was kind of disappointed that that didn't happen. And then I spent so much time filming and editing the music video for You're Welcome to again feel like it didn't get as many views as I had hoped, even though I appreciate so many people who watched it already. I mean, we're up to 600 views, which is amazing in my opinion that many people thought it was worth their time to sit down and watch it. So thank you if you watched the music video, and if you haven't, please go watch it. I would really appreciate it. But it's hard not to be a little bit disappointed after putting so much time into releasing a song, into releasing a music video. I feel like the music industry demands so much from independent artists like me in order to be classified as a success, and I would love to say that numbers don't matter and I do it just because I really love it, but I'd be lying. I do really love it, don't get me wrong, but if numbers didn't matter and I didn't want commercial success in music, I would have probably moved to the North Carolina coast at 18 and lived a content life still close to my family instead of spending most of my 20s 8 hours from home, broke, alone, and chasing after a music career. This has been my life dilemma lately. So, after spending hours staring at my computer screen and obsessing over my release for You're Welcome, I needed to take a step back from focusing on it and just simply live. In the weeks after releasing You're Welcome, I sang at a vintage market days in Raleigh, and I know you guys have seen that in my previous vlogs, so feel free to go check that out if you haven't. But that meant spending a week at home in North Carolina with my family. And even though I squeezed in 2 band practices while I was there, I found some much needed rest and time spent away from the never-ending question, what's the next thing on my to-do list to further my music career? One thing I love about my parents' house is being in nature and not a neighborhood. 40 acres of peace. Maybe even some fishing. We got stuck in the rain. Getting caught in a spring afternoon thunderstorm while fishing with my grandma was an unexpected joy I didn't know I needed, but I'm so glad it happened. I grew up running around in these woods and swimming in our pond, playing make-believe from sunup to sundown, and as an adult, my heart wishes I could go back to that level of carefree when I was a kid. It's no secret that being a creative soul can have its hardships. I feel constantly torn between 2 great loves, my music and my home. I got a dream worth chasing, I got a fear worth facing, I got something to say, and honey, you're the reason. I got a heart wide open, I got a love worth knowing. There's peace in my soul, and honey, you're the reason. You make me feel like I'm not a mess, like there's a great design behind all this, like the tears I've cried and the hearts I left. Somehow now they all make sense. I'd like to say that leaving to go back to Tennessee gets easier, but I've been doing this for 9 years, and every single time I leave home, it's still hard. But I was ready to get back into my rhythm in Nashville. Back to my cozy apartment and the silence from living alone that does inspire some of my best songwriting. No matter where I live, there will always be amazing pros and difficult cons from the place that I'm at and the stage of life that I'm in. I'm just trying to pray myself through them and keep my heart open to wherever the Lord leads me next. I just wish He would let me in on it a little bit sooner rather than later, but that's a whole other conversation for a whole different time.
I got a dream worth chasing, I got a fear worth facing, I got something to say, and honey, you're the reason. I got a heart wide open, I got a love worth knowing. There's peace in my soul, and honey, you're the reason.
Guys, I wanted to give a little bit of a life update in this vlog. I know that I'm trying out a different format of vlog style, so if you like this, please let me know in the comments. Life has just been wide open, if I had to use a word to describe it, and I feel like it has been one thing after the other, after the other, after the other. I'm just trying to catch up. I'm a little bit overwhelmed these days. I feel like I released Your Welcome. I went to Raleigh, North Carolina to sing for 3 days at a vintage market, which you guys have seen before in another vlog. And then I was home for a week. I helped my mom clean out her storage room, her office space, so that took pretty much all week. And I squeezed in 2 band practices because we have a 3-hour show coming up at the end of June. It's crazy because I really don't do a lot of singing and playing after a vintage market weekend because my fingers are done and my voice is typically gone. But the week after, I had those 2 band practices and they were like 3 to 4 hours long. So my fingers, I don't know if you can even, I don't know if you could see the calluses. That's after healing. I had like a red blister on my ring finger just because it was a lot of playing. After the week at home of working in band practices, I drove back to Tennessee. That sounded like a train. Do I live near a train? I do live near a train. Sorry for the noise. I'm on my balcony in Tennessee. As I was saying, I drove back to Tennessee, went immediately into my day job, and I am buying a new car. For the first time, I will have a car payment. I paid for my last car in cash, but this time I needed something more dependable, which meant like a little bit newer and a little bit more pricey. I'm not happy about the car payment. I have a lot of anxiety, and I'm excited about having a new car, and I feel like the Lord definitely provided like a really amazing option for a great price, and my old car is still currently working. So I have her for a little bit longer, and I'll probably end up selling her, but she just started having some issues, and it was one of those things that she's a 2004, and I'm like, you know, it might be time to get something new before she stops on me in the middle of an 8-hour drive, you know? So I have a new car coming. That's been very overwhelming this week. It's a big purchase, but I just wanted to take a minute while I'm on my balcony enjoying my coffee on this beautiful spring May morning to just catch up with you guys, talk to you directly, because a lot of this is going to be just voiceover thoughts. And so just a little coffee break to let you know what's been going on. It's so funny, my parents' house is so quiet, and then I come back to the city and it's still peaceful in my neighborhood. Like the birds are always chirpy in the morning, but this morning it feels really loud. I don't know why. Anyways, that's a little bit of my coffee thoughts. Smile.
I've been loved and I've been ignored. I've had the sun shining on my face, but I know when it rains trade. I've had mornings where I lie in bed and don't think I can face a new day. But ain't it beautiful how joy and pain can coexist? So
Oh, big old cheese in my mouth.
Carson in her natural habitat.
Rubbing my face, drinking my wine.
so unusual how we're born and we die and we live. It's the blink of an eye, but it feels like forever. We laugh and we cry, but we do it together. So take it all in. Ages again.
No, storm clouds, leave us alone. It's starting to rain, so we decided to walk back to the car slowly. What do you guys think? What do you think, Dad?
Love it. Love it.
I've always loved it.
Dad tried the red wine flight, and then me and Mom got my wine club.
Great. One wasn't too good, but the rest of them weren't.
Okay.
3 out of 4 is not bad.
3 out of 4 is not bad. Thankfully, the trees are covering us now, so maybe we'll make it back to the car. I definitely think we just got home in time. Wouldn't you say, Dad?
I believe we did. I believe a tornado's coming.
Oh, don't say that.
I believe it's happening.
Are you coming over here? Jump. Move this over. Jump. Good boy. Yeah. People can see you. Yeah. You sit. Guys, sit down. Guys, sit down. Oh. You can't have my tea. You sit. Good boy. Set my tea over. Oh, I adjusted the camera and now you're leaving? It's Memorial Day. My parents just left. They were here for the weekend. They actually drove out my new car that I got. I don't know if you guys can hear Huckleberry drinking water. I thought he was gonna join me and then he just left me, which ain't that a man for ya? But yeah, my parents are driving my old car back home because we're gonna try to sell it and I'm gonna take that money and put it towards my new car. I'll try to get some video and insert it here so you can see what she looks like. I'm still trying to think of a name for her. My original car, Paula Jean, I named her after my drummer because that's who I bought it from. And when we were signing the documents, I found out that his middle name was Eugene and I was just kind of like, Paul, I gotta name her Paula Jean after you. So Paula Jean had such a big personality because of her Southern Belle name that I'm kind of like, I feel like the new car needs an equally quirky name, but I can't think of one. So if you guys have any suggestions, please pop them in the comments below. I feel a bit overwhelmed. I laid in bed last night and I told my mom, I'm like, oh gosh, I just bought a new car. The anxiety of a big purchase is real. It just kind of hit me last night. I'm like, oh shoot, they're leaving me with this. Because I bought the car in North Carolina and they brought it out for me to Tennessee. And I'm like, oh, this is my car now and it's new and I feel really nervous to drive it. I say it's new, it's a 2012, so technically it's an older car. However, it's a lot nicer than my 2004, so I'm kind of like, oh, I feel nervous to drive it, but this is mine now. And it was kind of surreal when I moved all of my stuff over, like all of my music stuff that I keep in my car and things like that. And I'm like, oh, this is mine now. And my mom and my dad drove off with Paula Jean, and I was just kind of like, oh, I'm gonna cry when I have to sell her. But she was a good car. I just make an 8-hour trip way too often to still be driving a 2004. And that's kind of why I needed to upgrade. It was starting to get a little iffy at times, and she couldn't handle inclines. So that being said, it's a big purchase. First time I've ever had a car alone. I think I've spoken about it a little bit on my balcony the other morning. But I'm just sitting here because my parents drove in Saturday, and we spent all day Sunday together, and then they had to go back. They have to go, and I get it. And I live here, and I have my job here, so it's hard for me to go home. It's just so hard when you live away from your family, and I'm just struggling, if I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm in my 9th year of living in Nashville. It'll be 10 come December. It's never gotten easier. I don't cry as much as I used to. When I first moved to Tennessee, I feel like every time I would go to leave, I would cry. But I also think I have a lot of anxiety around something happening to my family. So I think some of that anxiety was more so like, what if something happens to them while I'm in Tennessee? And then it's like an 8-hour drive to get to them. And I can only imagine like the anxiety my mom had about me moving out here, because she probably had the same thoughts, like, what if something happens to her? And honestly, saying goodbye has never gotten easier. Like, I still want to cry when my parents leave. And it's just weird because I love living alone. I love where I live. I love my apartment. But it's still an adjustment when you have people with you. And since I do live in a small place, you know, when my parents are here, we're all kind of on top of each other. And I love being that close. I'm a quality time person. That's actually probably my #1 love language. And so I love having them here, and we watch TV together, and we cook, and we just hang out, and it's so wonderful. And so when they leave, it just feels quiet again. And I don't mind the quietness. I like having alone time. I am an introverted personality type by nature, but it's just an adjustment. And it's so weird when they leave. It's just kind of, I don't know, it's lonely. Even Huckleberry acts like he misses them. So it's definitely harder. But I did just want to say that for anyone who's moved away from family and you just feel like you're struggling. I don't want this to be a discouragement. I've definitely been struggling with feeling homesick a lot lately. And I don't know if it's just because Nashville's changed and the town that I moved to is not the same town that it's grown into. That's been a big issue for me. And it can feel really isolating in an entertainment industry town where you feel like no one's really your friend. And everyone's looking at relationships with an angle, like, what can I get out of you or from you? And I'm just not that personality type. I'm not that personality type. I don't look at someone and go, what can I get from you? Or what can I gain from this relationship? That's just not who I am. So I've made connections with people in music, but I never want to overstep a boundary of asking for something. I don't know. It's just really hard for me. I'm not that way. I used to be really shy as a kid. I'm not good at asking for help, which makes it even harder to not live near family, because I've had a few things come up lately where I've had to ask neighbors for help because I wasn't feeling well and I needed help with Huckleberry, or something came up and I just needed assistance with something. I'm not good at asking for help, and it's so hard when you don't have family that you're comfortable with to like fall back on. This season has been so hard, and I've been saying a lot of prayers about where I'm meant to be. I've definitely thought about leaving Nashville. I'm so confused about where I'm meant to be because I do miss my family and I'm so close with my family, and being so far away from them has been a struggle the last few years. But then again, I also love music and I really want something to happen with it. And I just feel like I've been here 9 years and they say it's a 10-year town, but I just don't feel like I'm getting anywhere with it. And that being said, I do want to say thank you to everyone who's subscribed to my YouTube channel. If you watch these videos weekly, I really appreciate it, because YouTube has kind of been the one thing lately that's kept me wanting to keep being creative, keep writing, keep sharing my music, keep sharing my life, because it's so easy to feel like you are just one of a million in Nashville trying to do music, trying to make it. There's nothing unique about you. And that's kind of the lies in my head, I feel like, that I've been dealing with for the last 9 years of my life of, oh, you're not special. There's a billion other people trying to do what you're doing. And especially online now, there are a billion people, forget Nashville, in the world that are posting videos and trying to create a following. And it's just crazy to me, because I feel like that has really affected me over the last 9 years of my life, feeling like there's not really anything I could say that hasn't already been said, or share anything in my life that hasn't already been shared before by somebody else. So I just want to say thank you if you've joined my channel for whatever reason. I appreciate the fact that you're here. I would love to know in the comments. Again, I want this to be like a conversation. I don't want it to always feel like I'm talking at you guys. So I would love to know what brought you here, what brought you to my channel. Was it my music videos? Was it my vlogs? And what made you stay? Because that would mean a lot to me just to hear that, especially right now. Again, YouTube has kind of been the one thing that's kept me going creatively. So I just want to thank you guys for showing up and subscribing. I've noticed an uptick in my numbers, and it really means a lot to me. I've been saying a lot of prayers. I'm trying to be really specific in my prayer life of asking God for specific things. And one of them right now is that I could get to 4,000 watch hours on YouTube and monetize off of ads and stuff that you see on these videos. So if you guys don't mind, please make sure you're watching my videos, and you can watch it as many times as you want. It still counts as a view every time. I did have a friend ask me about that. I'm not sure if I've already talked about that in this vlog, but please give it a watch. Put it on the background, mute it. That would help me so much, especially the vlogs, because some of them are 40 minutes long. And if you put those on a loop, like click my vlog playlist and put them on in the background, that would really help. But yeah, I don't know where music's taking me right now. And I just wanted to kind of sit down and be honest about it, because I feel like so many people, especially in Nashville, so many people are the fake it till you make it mentality. And everyone's making, the smallest of things sound like the biggest opportunity. And I've just never been that way. It feels like lying. And I don't want to lie to people. And I just want to be transparent, because it's been really hard. And I have questioned if I'm going about this the right way. Not necessarily should I give up music. I don't think that would be something I would ever do. If I moved home even, I would still be doing music. I'd still be playing shows that would just look different. And I think that's the crazy thing about any creative job. There's a billion different ways to go about doing it. And the same with music. You can post from anywhere at this point in time. You can upload videos from anywhere. You can post vlogs and music videos from anywhere. And so I'm kind of trying to reshape this idea of, do I really need to be in Nashville? Because the industry's changed so much. And then there's a part of me that's like, but it is helpful to know people. I don't know. It's just one big question mark. So I've been praying about it, and I've been feeling really torn about it, and I just don't know. I'm gonna be real honest on my cozy apartment. Some days that is the only reason I stay. I'm like, I love where I live. But so anyways, I don't know if any of that ramble just made sense, but I figured, somebody out there might need to hear that. Might need to hear that what you thought was your dream, or the path that you're meant to take, maybe you're second guessing it and you're not sure anymore. And just know you're not alone. I'm in the same boat. I've lived here 9 years, and I'm questioning if I even want to be here anymore. Do I want to move to the beach? Do I want to move home to be closer to my parents? Do I want to move to Raleigh, where I'm only 2 hours from my parents? There's so many different things. Do I want to stay in Nashville for the rest of my life? I don't know. It's just been really hard to figure it out. And I think when you feel like you have so many possibilities, it can be really overwhelming. And that's kind of where I'm at. I feel like I have options. My family's super supportive. I could go anywhere I wanted to. I just feel a bit overwhelmed by that information, especially on the days when it feels hard to live here. So anyways, that is a whole ramble that you guys didn't ask for. I figured, considering this is a life update after my release of You're Welcome, I did want to share that little word babble. And I just want to be transparent with you guys, because I do think the world has enough people trying to fake it till they make it, and it's a lie. Just know you're really making a difference, and I really appreciate it. Every time someone subscribes or comments or likes the video, it means a lot to me. Yeah, you guys have been a really comforting outlet over the last few months. So I'm going to keep making these videos regardless of where I'm meant to be. I hope you are enjoying this little vlog.
All that being said, I really appreciate every single one of you who watch my videos and listen to my songs. There have been so many days over the last few months that the small growth in my numbers on my YouTube channel has encouraged me to keep going. Every view on one of my videos actually gets me closer to 4,000 watch hours, and that helps me see money from the ads being placed on these videos. So thank you so much for investing your time and your friendship on my little corner of the internet. And I'm so glad you're here. I would love to connect in the comments and know what brought you to my channel in the first place, so please take the time and let me know. I just wanted to share a little bit of my life since my release and a few highlights of the last few weeks, as well as just a little bit of honesty, because I think the internet could use a little bit more vulnerability and transparency. But no matter what, I'm so thankful for my music, for the arts in general, and for you. I'm sure a song is in there somewhere, but until then, I will see you next week with a new video. Thanks for watching.